What is up, you beauties? My name is BatchatBegins, and as you can tell, I'm not feeling too well today because of COVID. I did mention that earlier on the channel in the news section, but I am going to try and get out my best review for you guys on the Skoda T50. Now, the T50 is an absolutely fantastic tank, even before the buff. You know, incredible 3-shot autoloader, good speed, and it can just absolutely bully people with that gun. Now, I do run calibrated shells on this vehicle, and I was running refined gun. I may end up actually taking it off because there is a dispersion buff, so you could put in an argument to say maybe it would be better with the V-stabs after this buff. But, you know, just kind of briefly going over what did get changed with the Skoda. In this case, the Skoda did get an accuracy buff, which is just kind of crazy when you think about it, you know? Going down from 0.35 all the way down to 0.345, which is crazy. And the aim time did go down a little bit too. So I would say maybe there is a potential argument to go ahead and run vert stabs at this point instead of refined on this tank. But I feel like you can get away with either. I do run the engine accelerator as per usual on my mediums because they don't need too much hull turn rate. You can just go ahead and get a little bit better power to weight ratio at that point. Now, as far as the overall statistics of the tank go, it has pretty decent DPM, nothing spectacular for the tier. But the really important thing is that crazy good clip that you can get. You have like about 310 on average, so you're gonna be dumping it out. I would just say the biggest thing to do in this tank would be to make sure that you're letting your teammates take shots for you. If you are in a double autoloader platoon, you just gotta kind of manage who's the healthiest and have them at the front most of the time. As I said, very fast tank. You know, it goes 60 forward for a medium with a clip, which is really, really nice. It's a more powerful standard beat at that point, just because of how fast it is. So let's go ahead and get into the first replay of the day, boys, and that is going to be in the Skoda here on Middleburg. So as you can see, I'm playing with my buddy Flossie from Mystic, and we're coming up against a pretty easy team to beat here. They have 3 tier 9s, and all of their tier 9s are tank destroyers. So what we're going to do in this case is just go ahead and send it through C here, and try and see if we can catch out their medium, which in this case is a TVP VTU. Now, I'm definitely not going to kill him in one clip. I'm going to do about 800 or 900 damage. In this case, looks like it was around 800 or so. And then all we got to do is just kind of back him up and lead him into our team. You know, we've gone ahead and taken basically his entire HP pool out, and at this point, we're just going to leave him for our team to deal with. So, in Clippers, you do kind of try to want to let your team deal with the people that are less than a clip for you. So in that case, he's 500. You know, I'm doing 900 on average. So in this case, we want to just go ahead and run it over, see if we could put our shells into a more deserving target. And in this case, that's looking like we're going to focus the glacial out first. Very, very nice teamwork on our end, I would say. And we do go ahead and put our last shell in the waffle. Now, that was risky of me because I was still spotted from shooting the glacial, but it was definitely worth to go ahead and get that last shot out, I would say, in my opinion. At this point, we're going ahead and focusing isolated targets, which I've said this in my autoloader videos before, it's very important. You want to try to go ahead and focus the people who basically can't fight back. If you can get yourself an overwhelming numbers advantage, you will have a very easy game at that point. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and cap the base, just in case, you know, they do have 2 waffles alive and a 53 TP, which is a very, very good tank. I'm planning on actually putting a review out on that tank very soon. But in this case, we want to just go ahead and try and focus at the 53 TP, since he's the first person we can see. There is a waffle, and I am a little bit greedy here. I forget that the front part of this tank is a little big, so I accidentally do go ahead and poke that, losing a little bit of my health in the process. But we do have 795 HP left to go ahead and work with, And because of that, I'm going to go ahead and rush in, see if I can deal a good bit of damage, because at this point it's basically a win. But I'm going to go ahead, load HE for the 5100, and just make sure that I'm careful with my aiming, because the Skoda doesn't have the best HE pin in the world. That is one thing that the standard B does have above it. So with that clip onto the AMX 5100, basically did about 1200 damage, which brings us up to 4,853. And we're just having some fun, you know, just messing around. And at this point, I do go ahead and grab the final shot just to bring us above 5k for the first game here today. So as you can see, the Skoda is a very, very solid tank, and I'm going to show you what you can get up to with 2 of them in a platoon. As you can see, very nice 5k mastery here for the tank. And so for our second game of the day, guys, we are here on Hellas, and we're facing a pretty decent medium lineup. They have an AMX 31er, an Object 84, and a Revelarice. Now, I'm not too scared of that lineup, main reason being because of the Revelarice and the fact that we outdamaged the 84 very heavily. But in this case, you know, not gonna chance it. In this case, what we're gonna do is be sneaky and just go ahead and rush their heavy side. This will hopefully let us catch out any of their TDs or their single heavy tank, the AMX 5120. So in this case, we're just going to pop up. If we don't see anything in the bushes, then we're just going to go ahead and move through. But we do go ahead and see their full health waffle, which lets us absolutely go ahead and take him to the cleaners. And he wasn't running Spall Liner, so we do just go ahead and take him out of the game. And that is a full health Tier 9 taken out of the game this early on. Second thing we're going to do is just go ahead and bully the Object 84. This is what you can do with double autoloaders. Look how free this is, right? He might get one shell into us, but look what we're doing to him. We're doing 1,600 damage, 1,700 damage to that poor Object 84, and he's just out of the game now. So at this point, what we're going to do is go ahead and focus the next target, that being the T28 prototype. Now, I did want to try and get HE, but it looks like this guy is turning and, you know, fairly competent, so I don't want to take damage for free at this point. But we do, unfortunately, and we do miss our HE. But that's not going to matter, because we're going to go ahead and let Flossie just go ahead and finish him off. You know, he's going to die instantly from our other autoloader. And I'm going to go ahead and get over here to try and make a difference here on the medium side. And instead of focusing the AMX, we're just going to go ahead and finish off this Revelarice if we can. Does look like, unfortunately, we do not fully finish him off. We do hit the track there at the very end. But with that being done, we're going to go ahead, get in here, and try and finish off the AMX 5120. And this should be fairly easy because the 5120 has just finished clipping out. There's basically nothing else for us to do. So in this case, we are going to go ahead and looks like finish off the 5120 so we can let Flossie have a little bit of damage there on the 31er. And as you can see, like with the double autoloader platoon, especially with 2 Skodas, I mean, we go 60, we can play tier 8 tanks, and you can see just how strong this can be, not only in higher tier, but like in lower tier as well. You absolutely just destroy people. So guys, I do hope you enjoyed today's video. Would definitely recommend picking up the Skoda T50 after the buff. It is absolutely devastating, not only in a regular platoon, but in a double autoloader platoon. This thing can absolutely steamroll. So I do hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. My name has been BatchatBegins, and I will see you guys in the next one.